Woo, man, it has been some time, but you know what? We are back. The pop-off is here. We are just about to rebrand, so you're catching us in the middle of a rebuilding phase, just like the Sacramento Kings. We are going to come back much better, much brighter. We are going to have so many good things happening on the front court, and off the court, and behind the court, all the courts. Guys, welcome back to the pop-off. It has been many, many weeks. But luckily, there hasn't been too much going on around the scene, so we've been okay. I mean, we missed the Olympics, but the Olympics were super fun, so I hope you guys caught up on that. But we got a whole bunch to catch up on, so without further ado, let's jump back into things, jump back into the swing. Once again, my name is Nigel. I'll be the host taking you through this athletic journey, but I could not do this without my men by 4x4 guys. And the lead, I will be the lead. But right after me, taking around the first corner, Genefitzmagic. What's up, dude? How are you, man?
What's up? You know, it's so good to be back with my guys, man. You know, we haven't really even had chances to talk sports that much because there hasn't been much going on. A lot of times when there's a big game, we'll be in our group text and stuff, and there hasn't really been anything that big to really talk about. Can I make a couple of announcements just because the channel's been a little quiet as well? So we are now known as, it's not Morning Brew Sports anymore. It's Uptown Sports TV. So it's Us Sports TV. And there's going to be some changes to the channel, some new shows, some different shows. We're going to be having some changes to our show. We're going to try to have a guest in every week, starting probably next week. But I can't wait to kind of take this, this journey. We've been, this show has been around for a little while now. And two of the originators of it are Caleeb and Nigel. And we've been through different I don't know, like, what's the word, Nigel? Iterations. I love it.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we need to help with words. Ask Canadians. We've been through different iterations, and through all those iterations, James Wudi has joined us. He's brought his baby to the show. And I'm glad to be back in a kind of a different space. I know it'll probably be a little bit of a quiet day just because we're rebuilding up the channel. We've been dormant for about a month, so I know that takes a little bit of a toll. But I'm excited to get the ball rolling.
Same, man. And you said it right now. We're Uptown Sports, so new brand, new look. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. So thank you for joining us along for this ride. But back to the track, we are on the third leg, and you know what? That third stretch, man, you need somebody who can run it down, just like running that 100-meter. And who is that? That is Mr. James Wudi. Thank you, sir, for being here. What good, my guy?
Just running my mouth. I don't know about any of the other types. Gene is talking about being in a new space. I'm physically in a new space. I'm actually, for those curious, in my childhood home. That is actually a picture of me, a young Wood, at like age 2 or 3. So I'm here for the week. Have a wedding today. So again, a lot of things in order, but you know I can't miss the pop off as we pop off. For the first time in quite a while. I ain't missing that. You can say I do any day, but the pop off, the return is today, right here, right now.
You failed to mention that the wedding is actually your own, and now you're missing your own wedding because of this show. So we appreciate you. And down the stretch, because Wudi's got to hand it off to the last man, the man who's going to blaze down that track so we can win that unified podcast gold. Caleeb, Pinkett, what is up, my guy?
All good, man. You know what I'm saying? It's good to be back to, talk a little bit. There ain't, like Gene was saying, there's not too much to talk about. Well, as far as the main sports, there's a lot in all kinds of other sports to talk about. But, football, preseason, who cares? You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. Basketball's not back yet. There's a lot of chirping going on. I saw Steph and LeBron going at it a little bit over to Kendrick and Drake. We can talk about that.
we'll hit that stuff.
But it's been it's cool though. You know what I mean? But like you said, you got to bring it home. Like my girl Sha'Carri Richardson. You know what I'm saying? You saw her blazing at the sea. We could have talked about the Olympics the whole time. That was the most fun. I mean, I loved it. I watched everything, even the break dancing. Shout out to my girl Ray Dog. You know what
Ray
I'm saying?
Dog.
Ray Gun in the business. You know what I'm saying? Don't be hating.
As soon as that came out, like as soon as she became the most popular thing on the internet, I was like, you guys just got her paid. She just got paid because it just snowballed
She's
after
getting
that.
everything.
Yeah, snowballed after that. I was like, all right, you can joke as much as you want because the laugh is actually at you now because she is just getting paid.
Yes, 1,000%. You know what
I'm going to be honest. I didn't watch 1 minute of the Olympics. I didn't watch
well, you are in the minority,
man.
Gene, okay? Surprise.
Women, gymnastics,
I'll tell you what.
field,
I tell you what I did notice.
Badminton,
I'll tell you what I did notice. Tatum becoming a 12th man. So that's his new nickname for me is 12th man Tatum.
You could call him 12th man. He's number 1 man.
Yeah.
Check the pay stub. You can say whatever you want. If I was getting paid like him, I wouldn't care if I never played. I'd be like, good game, gentlemen.
Your palms would be sore just
my
from clapping.
$60 million for not doing nothing but clapping. Like, man, please. He hit the jackpot. Tatum is straight. The problem is he was upset about it. It's like, man, that team is so loaded. It's like, who cares? It's the Olympics. It don't matter. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, to me, I'm like, who cares? That's why Carmelo said, oh, the Olympic gold is better than a championship. Says somebody who never won.
Exactly.
Who never even got out of finals. You know what I mean? A Western Conference or Eastern Conference finals. So, come on, man.
Exactly. And you know what? Before we jump into things, which you already have, that's how much we missed each other, how much we missed sports. Shout out to all the people in the chat. We appreciate you so much. Thanks for coming. Shout out for everyone. Go, Sean Browning. Obviously, Gene popped in there. Thank everybody and say what's up. Johnny Boy, what's going on? Zach Wilson not even going to be in the league anymore.
Did he get cut from Denver?
No, he's a QB3. He's a bum.
Yeah.
Bonafide.
Well, that we knew.
We did. But before we get into that stuff, because we can talk about, there's a whole bunch of bums in the league, but we can talk about what is now going on with the Dallas Cowboys. They are just always in the conversation. Oh, but just before I jump to that, I want to make sure I don't skip one of my favorite segments.
My favorite segment.
Yeah, you're right. Gene's favorite segment. You're right. Gene's favorite segment. Check this one out. This right here, this lid that I'm wearing, this hat here is the Cleveland Guardians. However, I'm not a Cleveland fan, but I am a Green Goblin fan because this comes from Hat Club. They're not paying me, but I'm saying it anyway. This is from Hat Club. This is part of their Sinister Pack. That's right. If you know comic books, that is the Sinister Six. They are all a whole 6 enemies that Spider-Man had the hardest time fighting with because they united. The reason why I'm wearing this hat is because it is Fan Expo, aka Comic-Con up here in Toronto. It started yesterday. I was there for most of the day. I will be back there tomorrow and Saturday and Sunday. So if you're around, if you're Canadian, if you're listening to this, hey, shout out your boy. I'll be the guy in the fun hat. Check this out real quick. Boom. Oh, yes. Look at that.
Is that the same Guardians that Judge homered 3 times against and lost the series to the Yankees 2-3?
Probably.
2-3? Yeah,
probably.
There you go.
There you go. But like I said, this is the Green Goblin colorway. Look at that. Huh? Got the gray under, black UV. All right. I'm good to go. We got it done. We got it over with. Let's jump into the NFL. Like I was saying, we're going to talk about them Dallas Cowboys. How about them Dallas Cowboys? Will Jerry Jones finally give CeeDee Lamb the contract that he wants? And if he does, will he be ready for week 1? This has been a big deal. We haven't heard too much about it lately, and it's kind of come back because NFL starts very soon. Is right around the corner. Let's start with you, Gene. What do we think?
Listen, is he going to – I mean, he wants to be the highest paid non-quarterback, right? I mean, it means you got to leapfrog Jefferson, right? I mean, and is it me or is this wide receiver market going absolutely crazy?
Yeah, it's going bonkers.
It's going bonkers, which is, you know what? The Jets better get a deal done with Garrett Wilson before it's too late because he's going to want that next pay, that next bag. But yeah, he's not. To me, who I like better, if I was to pick a receiver, I would pick him over Jefferson. That's my opinion. I would take CeeDee Lamb over Jefferson. I think CeeDee Lamb's a little better. Now, the stats don't necessarily show that, I guess, but I think he's a better receiver. I know Wudi's already given me faces. I like CeeDee Lamb better than Justin Jefferson. But to leapfrog that right now this year, I don't think it's going to happen. They got so many guys to pay. I think I really kind of sit down with them, and maybe they already have. I don't know. But Jerry Jones is going to sit down and be like, listen, You like playing in Dallas? You want to win? Yes, yes, yes. We got to pay other guys too. We need to pay our star defensive pass rusher. We need to pay our quarterback. I can't give all you guys all this money. We got to figure out a system that works for the team. I'm not saying you guys got to take a lot less money, but you need to be able to fit in this puzzle. You know, we got to be. It's a puzzle. And there's all these pieces. You got to be able to fit into the puzzle. And if he's not, then he's not going to get what he wants. Now he might go get that somewhere else. I don't think he's going to get that in Dallas just because there's so many other people they got to pay.
Yeah, and speaking of that, I mean, we got to think about, well, we don't have to, but Jerry has to think about Dak Prescott, right? Because if he doesn't get paid, if they don't like follow through, then I mean, he could become a free agent in 2025. So that's something they got to really look at. And let's talk to another one of Dallas's favorite cheerleaders. That is Caleeb. Caleeb, what do you think about this CeeDee Lamb and the Dallas Cowboys coming to an agreement?
I think they have to. I disagree with Gene wholeheartedly about paying. They already paid Dak. Dak's gotten paid twice.
But does he have to get? You don't pay him again?
No, not right now. Not over CeeDee Lamb. You have to have a receiver. Dak has already proven he's not that good. Not when you need him. And so now you're going to lose the guy that he really needs. You already lost Brandon Cooks. You don't have another receiver, right? Like you have to pay him. And the way the receiver market is, it's ridiculous. Only for great ones. Wilson is not going to get a bag like them. He's not on their level. He's not going to get that. He'll get paid, but he'll be around where Amon-Ra was. Amon-Ra was number one for 2 weeks, right? Because they're setting the new market. CeeDee Lamb will get more than Jefferson, but only by a little. He has to. His mother is the only mother in football who tweeted during the playoffs and said, Dak ain't it. You think that woman is allowing her 23-year-old son to go play for a team for $17 million when he's going to lose, and you're going to pay the quarterback who blew the game $55 million and her son doesn't get what he deserves? I don't think so. The rules have changed in football. It's not about winning with Dallas. They don't care about winning with Dallas. He cares about winning that bag. And if a ring comes with it, cool. But it ain't about championships like it used to be. That's an old idea. Old players really wanted the rings, and it was sacrifice for the team. Ronnie Lott cutting off the finger, all that, allegedly. It doesn't matter. They're not doing that no more. Not in the Instagram age. Yeah, right. It's the good fellas. You pay me. Oh, you got to pay Dak? You pay me. Oh, Micah's not happy. You pay me. Right? Like, don't nobody care about that. Figure it out, Jerry. You a billionaire, ain't you? Pay the luxury tax. I want my money or I'm not playing. So, like, that's what it is. And I agree with CeeDee wholeheartedly. I think CeeDee Lamb is top 3. You can move him around however you want. I saw Wudi with the Jefferson eyes. Jefferson is spectacular, but CeeDee is possessional. Like, you get him the ball, he's catching that thing. And so I wouldn't, they're all interchangeable to me. I would be happy with him, Tyreek Hill. And Tyreek is there because of his speed, right? But Jefferson and CeeDee and AJ Brown and people like that, because I don't even think Ayuk is better than my boy Deebo Samuel, but that's another conversation for a different day. But Ayuk is in that. They're getting paid. So again, they have to pay CeeDee. He would be stupid to play this season without a check, without a new deal. But Dak, who cares?
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. He's under contract. He doesn't really have the leverage. Number one, number two, and here's my question to you: if you're not going to pay Dak because his is coming up as well, only he's not been as blustery about it, which is one thing I almost want to pay him more because he hasn't been blustery about it. He's been a good soldier about it, but if you lose Dak, I get Dak has his faults, but don't forget, up through about week 10 last year, we thought he was the MVP. If you're not paying Dak, who are you going to pay? You have a championship window that you need a quarterback for, and if you don't pay him and you don't keep him here, well, then who's the guy that's gonna man this ship going forward through this championship window?
You're gonna find a new quarterback. They're coming all the time. Right? And Dak hasn't.
Who's the next guy? Who's the next guy?
Who knows? Nobody knew that CJ Stroud was going to be who he is, right?
But that's what I'm saying.
All these teams got new quarterbacks. Like Caleb Williams looked like he's tearing the scene up right now in Chicago. Whether he does it in the real season is we'll see. But what I'm saying is, It doesn't matter. Dak has already been there for so long. He's done nothing. It's like you're going to keep paying for the same thing. I won a championship. You haven't even gotten close. So you're going to keep paying the guy who hasn't done it. That's insanity, right? Same thing, expecting different result, right? You got to pay the dude who has to catch the ball for your whack quarterback. If he's not there to catch it, how good is Dak now? You already got Ezekiel Elliott as your running back now.
Yeah, I mean,
really? So that's what you're going to, like, no. CeeDee has all the power. If I was him, I wouldn't move until you pay me. I don't care about Dak.
I see. You make it sound like it's so easy to draft the quarterback and just slide.
No. It's not easy. I understand it's difficult, but you'd have a better shot of getting a new quarterback in there than you would of finding a better receiver than CeeDee Lamb right now for Dak Prescott, right?
Definitely.
Dak Prescott is good. He's not great.
Okay.
What you're talking about is great. It's great quarterbacks, right? Listen, they could go get your boy Sam Darnold and have a shot with CeeDee Lamb in there. Don't act like they couldn't.
It's too early for the Sam Darnold
Sam
talk.
is on the same level as Dak is, in my opinion. Right? At least if he's a little bit lower, you can put him a little bit, but not much.
You mean saying that they're both potential MVPs? Yeah, I get it.
I think Dak is on that team. If Dak is on a different team, he's not that. He's regular. He can't do what Tom Brady did in New England. Right? That's what I'm talking about. So, again, I think you have to pay CeeDee. You have to. Micah Parsons is willing to wait because he knows he's going to be the highest paid defensive player in the history of the NFL. He knows he's going to get that deal, right? So he'll wait one more season. But CeeDee will not. Receivers' timeline is shorter than defensive players, especially Micah, where he gets to do. He's not a corner, right? Yeah. So CeeDee's got to get paid now, and quarterbacks can play 20 years. You saw Brady. They changed the rules, which is another reason why CeeDee is so important, because it's a passing league now. It's not a running league no more. It's passing. So you got to have dudes with hands. You can't lose him. His mother already does not like the situation, and he's a kid. He's a man, but he's a kid. He's in his 20s, young 20s. His mom runs his life. She's a black woman that raised him. Please. He ain't trying to hear her. I'm telling you right now, it's a different thing. And he believes her. When she says Dak ain't it, he's like, yeah. Imagine what that family dinner is like. They're like, man, he's garbage.
Listen, I bet the whole family is like that. And there's more people that are retweeting that for sure. Like,
man, and they're like, and he just got you out there. Look at that. Look at that. Look, oh man, you crazy. If I was you, he got cousins like, man, had that been me, I'd be over there with Aaron in New York. You know what I'm saying? I'd be in Frisco with Purdy. You know what I'm saying? I'd be in Philly with Hurts. Like, this dude garbage. Like, I'm telling you. And that weighs on you when you're a young kid, hearing that. And you're going to be like, you right. And they're like, you need your money. Justin Jefferson just got $100 million. Where you at? Tyreek Hill just got a deal 3 seasons ago and then got a new one. And you still have it. Come on.
Listen. At the risk of getting Wudi late for this wedding, let's keep this thing moving. Hey, Wudi, what are your quick thoughts on this whole idea?
I think Jerry done messed up. You know, we've seen so many people that were, you know, big dudes or big deals in like the 90s, you know, 2000s. You know, where's Vince McMahon at? Where's Bill Belichick at? You know, I think Jerry needs to pull up a seat right next to those dudes because he is messing up the Cowboys. I think we are seeing the beginning of the end. No one's saying it because, you know, there are no contract disputes in Madden. So their Madden rating is still fire, right? But, you know, all the different things that are going on, Caleeb brings up the human element, right? Even when CeeDee gets paid, you know, how you pulling up to the locker room knowing what has transpired and being like, oh, that's my guy. I can trust my guy. I think the locker room has cracked beyond repair. And I think that the Cowboys, don't be surprised if they are not in the top 2 in the NFC East.
Oh, damn.
It's a great
exclamation point right there. Tragedy.
Love it. Hey, so we already heard this infamous name brought up earlier in our conversation. So why don't we just jump to it? Let's talk about his boy Sam Darnold. Now, with this opportunity, will he be a QB1 for the talented Vikings team? Gene, we're going to go to you since you are the number one fan of the Sam Darnold club. I know you have to justify that.
I'm not a fan. I'm just a believer. I think that he's never had a chance to really be a top tier quarterback with top tier weapons around him. Now he's got that in Minnesota. It's so good, so good that there's going to be a struggle next year. Wudi, I'm sure you probably know. Is he only got a 1-year deal?
I actually don't know. That would make sense though, because they knew that they were drafting JJ, so that would make sense.
So
he was like a stop.
Who I think is a bust anyway. But having said that, you got to put him on the field to know. Sierra.
We're gonna get to that. Finish your thought, Gene.
Yeah. All right. Listen, I think he can be. I don't think he stays in Minnesota after this year. I think he goes somewhere and he gets a full. I think this is going to be like a Geno Smith situation. I think he's going to play so well in Minnesota, and he's going to be able to put that into getting the bag somewhere else. And I think he's going to have a fine career somewhere else. I don't know where it'll be necessarily. I'm sure if we look at the rosters, we can maybe come up with some ideas. Maybe New Orleans, something like that. Brock Purdy is the most overrated quarterback in the league. Let's just say that, Sierra. Welcome back, Sierra. I think he's going to have a fantastic year this year. He's finally got weapons around him for the first time in his career. He's finally got some support. He doesn't have to worry about another quarterback looking over his shoulder as he did last year when he got to play when he was playing in the preseason in San Francisco. I think this is going to be a year that he's going to be able to make some moves and really solidify himself as the starting quarterback in the league. Unfortunately, it won't be carried out in Minnesota. It's going to have to be somewhere else. But I think he gets the bag somewhere else because he has such a fantastic year this year in Minnesota. And I know we're going to talk about season predictions next year, like the playoff predictions and award predictions next year. We're going to do that next week. So just a preview, Sam Darnold will come out of my mouth a few times next week.
Oh, God. Yeah, we all look forward to it. Hey, James Wudi, what do you think? Darnold's been with the Jets. He's been with the Panthers. He's been with the 49ers. Now he's landed in Minnesota. Is this going to make a difference? Like, how do you feel about this?
I'm a Sam Darnold believer. You anointed Gene as number one, but I don't recall that Olympic competition. I don't know how I got that silver. I think we might need to recount maybe in 4 years. I can compete for that gold because he has had horrific situations. I know we talked about it in the group chat. There are a couple things that I ranted about in the group chat that I'm about to rant about today. And this is one of them. Sam Darnold. He has never, they gave him, we laughing at Zeke, right? Being the starting running back for the Cowboys. Sam Darnold's last year as a Jet, his running back was 10 years older than Zeke is right now. Frank Gore. He was literally they were talking about he was about to be the first running back to play with his son in the league. And that was his RB1. That's his RB1. So Darnold, he's had nothing. When they finally gave him McCaffrey, he was undefeated with McCaffrey. Then McCaffrey goes down. Okay, there's only been 1 year where he has won a game, and any other quarterback has won a game for that same team. That tells me that his rosters have been trash. Now the Vikings have a good roster. They have a good coach. And the most important thing for Sam's perspective is that they run the same scheme, that Shanahan scheme that everybody's trying to emulate. He was just with Shanahan himself. He was at the nucleus. And now he comes out and he goes to Minnesota where they ran it last year to great success. He's a little bit more mobile than Kirk Cousins. I'm not saying he's better than Kirk Cousins, but he has a wider variety of things that he can do than Kirk Cousins. And if Kevin O'Connell, which I would imagine, has recognized that, I think the sky's the limit for what Justin Jefferson and what Sam Darnold can do. And that reminds me, CeeDee, I'm okay. He's top three. He's top three. That's interchangeable. I think Jefferson is number one. Like how we say, Joe Burrow for the quarterbacks and stuff. Like, oh yeah, this is interchangeable. Mahomes is number one. I would say by a large margin, and I have Jefferson number one in the receivers by a large margin. 2 through 4, argue with your mama.
Great. Can I say one thing to Sierra, because she always seems to grind my gears
early too. Like she's
not even waiting. Frank Gore is not one of the greatest running backs to ever play. As far as longevity, he was great as being able to play for such a long time, and I give him credit for that, because it's tough keeping your body healthy, especially as a running back. And he was able to do that. But he's the ultimate NFL compiler. The reason why he was able to put up such great numbers for so long is because he was a compiler, and that's why his career stats look so great, because he played for 45 freaking years. And that's really what it is. I mean, Wudi, am I wrong?
I mean, he was definitely good in his prime. It's just that his prime.
He was good. He wasn't one of the greatest running backs to ever play. Sierra, come on, come back to earth, Sierra.
As much as I want to hear all about this word-on-word battle between Gene and Sierra, Caleeb, what are you thinking, man? Because Darnold, I mean, he's been around. I mentioned 4 teams that he's been with now, but he has accolades for days, believe it or not. He's got accolades, so it's not really a talent that could service other teams. But what's going to make this run with the Vikings different?
It's just now he doesn't have to. Gene made a really good point. There's something to be said when you don't have to look over your shoulder. I understand the idea of competition and pressure, but that also could throw you, right? Like when you know there's nobody there and it is your team for this year, he gets to make his bones. Like now he gets to really do it with he got the best receiver in the NFL, arguably, people like Wudi was saying, whatever. But for the most part, majority of people think Jefferson is the best receiver in the league, and you got him. You know what I mean? You got Addison. You got you got my boy from the Packers. He came over. What's his name? Dude that torched Dallas last year.
Aaron Jones.
Like you got it. You got a good defense. Yep. It's like there's no real excuse, and you get to play indoors. It's like you don't even get weather. They can set the weather for you. So now you really have to show it. So I think this will be a year where it will be answered whether or not he really, if he would have had those shots then, he would have done so. You know what I mean? Like to where you could see it like, damn, it sucked for him. He got, it was bad because he really does have the good. So this year could really set that for him. And I think, it's going to be interesting to see. The NFC North is arguably the most competitive division in the NFL now. And with great teams. I think the AFC North is strong. NFC North is strong. You know what I mean? Like as far as all those teams, you got Packers, Vikings, Bears, and Detroit. And they're all good. And I'm doing quote because the Bears are undefeated in the preseason, but I always give preseason with a grain of salt. You know what I mean? But it's looking like it's going to be straight. So Sam Darnold's going to have a lot of competition. It should be good. Yep. He's average at best. Well, we're going to see. We're going to see because look, sometimes an average quarterback with a great team can win a Super Bowl. Ask Trent Dilfer.
Yep.
So that's a great point. That's a great point.
I don't think he's going to be. I think you're going to see he's not average this year. I think and again, competition. It's a Caleeb's point. Competition. Some quarterbacks need competition, especially younger quarterbacks. Sam Darnold's now been in this league to the point where now just let him, as the kids like to say, let him cook. Let him cook. Let him play. He doesn't need to look over his shoulder anymore at this point. Let's see what he can do when he's got the full reins. And Sierra, you are my arch nemesis.
Took the words right out of my mouth. That's exactly what I was going to call the two of you. And look at Brock Purdy, man. Brock Purdy, I mean, he jumped in crazy adversity. Now his situation when he got in was like the absolute like extreme.
Yeah.
But through that, he has now become 49ers number one guy, and he's played exceptionally well under that flag. But
he has.
Yeah. Now, Now we got some
He has
names.
a team like
Yes, I mean without a doubt. But it's undeniable that he's still. I'm not saying he's great. All I'm saying is that he's pretty fantastic for the situation and what he's had to endure through that. Listen, with all this name calling between Gene is here, I love it so much. But also Tua Tagovailoa, he also had a couple words to exchange and criticize of his old coach. Now the comments that he made about Brian Flores, quote and unquote, said he's a terrible person. Who knows if that's like absolutely correct, absolutely not correct, whatever. And Mike McDaniel, he came out and he commented on Tua's comments as well. But let's talk about how we feel about Tua's comments, justified, not justified, right place and time. Caleb, what are we thinking?
It's justified because it's his opinion and what he believes is the reason why he's had the seasons that he's had and why he's gotten this new bag of money. Because when Flores was there, they was talking about Tua maybe out the league. Like, this dude can't, right? And there's something to be said about dynamics between people. Obviously, McDaniel knows how to talk to Tua in a way to where he doesn't feel like he's being crushed. He's being propped up to succeed versus somebody who is mean. Nobody talks about Belichick being a great guy. Nobody does. But in his style only works for certain people. He had the perfect guy with Tom Brady. He had a guy that could take all of that, like stern, don't talk, we're not friends, we just win. That worked for Tom. But not everybody's that way. Some people want to come in and say, hey, coach, man, this weekend I was with the kids, man. We went to, and Brian is like, man, give me your fruit cocktail. Like, shut up, punk. You sound like a buster. You know what I mean? Over here talking about Capri Suns. We play football. You know what I'm saying? I want to hear about no kids. Them kids. Play ball.
That's what I say.
Right?
True.
So there's a difference of dynamic there that obviously McDaniel has that works for Tua. So Tua can now say, this dude was mean. That's what he's saying. He's like, he's not a good person, like he's mean. I met Tua. I went to the Miami Dolphins facility, and I can tell this story. It's nothing crazy. I went to the Miami Dolphins facility, and I got to meet him. He was the nicest dude ever, and I felt so bad. And I had to tell him, I was like, yo, man, because I be saying that you know what I'm saying, you may be above your pay grade. Like I don't think you can. And he started laughing. And he took me out to the field. They have a practice squad like behind the building. And they have the Miami Dolphins logo like way up on the building in a corner. And he was like, do you think I could hit that? I was like, hell no. That's like 60, 70 yards. It's like in the air. One throw, and he's left-handed. He hit it dead center. Like perfect. I was like, God. And then the receivers were like, no, he got dimes. And he was just throwing. I was like, yo, this dude is actually good. I was like, okay. I was wrong. So I know the type of dude he is. He's a nice guy. Like, he's open. So if you got a dude who's hard and like don't want to do that, that could crush that kind of spirit. You know what I'm saying? Like it crushes that. So I think it wasn't fun for him to play for that guy. I don't think Flores is a bad guy. I just think he's not for the play. He was a defensive coach. A lot of defensive coaches aren't. They're not for the yip yap and all that. Everything is, war. You know what I mean? So that works for some people. It doesn't. So that's what I think it was. And McDaniels is an offensive guy. You know what I mean? It's like, so it's all about play and fun. Hey, what if we did this? Ooh, what if we did this? Right? It's like playing and drawing up plays in the sand. Defensive dudes don't do that. It's crush. We ain't got nothing to smile about. Right? So I think that's the difference. Belichick, defensive guy. That might be something to look into. Mike Singletary, defensive guy, mean. People in Frisco was like, yo, he ain't like seriously. So,
Well, I think you really nailed it when you talk about the relationship between the two players. And if you look at either championships like Phil Jackson or Michael Jordan or like Kerr and Curry, like, I mean, it's a dynamic, it's a relationship that's really built with the leaders and the coach. And it doesn't work all the time. This is why I think what Tua might have called out was just like a human reacting to another human, just on the base level. And it just didn't work for their profession, which is winning football games and being the best that both of them could be. James Wudi, thoughts?
honestly, I don't even have too much to add because I think both of you nailed it on the head. Anything I would say from here is just an echo. So yeah, human element. I respect both players. That story is crazy to hear. Because I thought it was gonna end with him hitting somebody in the stands. So
No.
By accident.
Yeah. Just the popcorn dude just popcorn up in the air. But yeah, I'm glad to hear that. And Brian Flores is doing his thing. So he's still in the league. Coaching up guys. So I think it's just sometimes oil and vinegar.
Yeah, man. It's like real quick, he's like Tua's like he's mean. Flores is like he's a bitch. You know what I mean? Like that's what he would say. He's like, I'm not mean to him. It's just you know what I mean?
Gene.
Yeah. So, But first, can we just acknowledge that the awesome Caleeb Pinkett story of him and Tua having their own Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite moment? See those mountains over there? I can throw this football way over those mountains.
Quarter mile.
He would have won state. But listen, it might have been that way. It might have been that way. Tua, grow the F up. Grow up, bro. I mean, you're right here, bitch. Oh, he was so mean to me. He's not a nice person. Grow up and play football. That was 3 years ago. It was way in the past. Grow the fuck up. And I get it. He might be. I've heard a lot of people say he's a nice guy. Caleb's not the first person to say, "Hey, I've met him. I've seen him. He's a great guy. He might be a nice guy." A little bit of a bitch move to talk about how mean a coach was to you 3-4 years ago. Coaches are mean. That's what they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be mean, man. It doesn't make any sense for them not to be mean. You're trying to lead a group of men into a battle every Sunday. So he was mean to you. What about Caleb called it Bill Belichick? What about the days of Parcells? Parcells was. You ever hear some of the sound bites from Bill Parcells? Parcells would probably make fun of your mama. He didn't. He was mean. Guess what? He won 2 Super Bowls. He's been to another. Bill Belichick's won 1 million Super Bowls. You know what? I am a bully, Sierra. I am. That's right. No, that's right. I think it's. I like Brian Flores. I don't think he got a fair shake. I think they never liked each other from the beginning, because if you hear Brian Flores, if you hear any of the story that went down, he was kind of forced with Tua when he wanted to go into another direction. So he may have been a little bit harder on Tua just because he felt saddled with Tua. He wanted to go another direction. But at the same time, Tua, grow up. You're a grown man. Stop talking about somebody that made fun of you in high school, man. Grow up.
That was very mean. That was very mean. I pushed back a little bit.
He talks about me like a dog.
Yeah.
He doesn't act right. Nasty person. You know what I mean?
That's weird.
You know what I mean? Like, that's what that is. It's like he's just like but I think Gene, to piggyback on what he said coaches are supposed to be mean. I don't agree with that fully, but I do agree that they do need to be hard. Like you got stern, like they gotta be like on you, especially with football, right? Because of the war battle sort of scenario it is every week, and that injuries are gonna happen like guaranteed. So meaning you're gonna lose a guy. So you can't be out there like dicking around. It's serious, right? So that's a thing that I think was how that could be an issue. If you watch the Bears 85-30-30, you see that between Buddy Ryan and Mike Ditka. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like how the players talked about how they were different and how one side of the team liked Ditka and the other liked the defense loved Buddy Ryan because that was their due. But when you hear the defense talk, you understand why, because Buddy was not with the theatrics.
Yeah. Buddy Ryan punched the offensive coordinator Kevin Gilbride right in the face on national TV.
Come on, man.
Awesome? That was awesome, bro.
That's what those
against the Jets.
Like. Yeah. For everyone goes, coach needs to have backbone and not always act like your friend. 1000%. I couldn't agree more. And once again, don't forget, guys, we're on a new channel right now. I mean, new face, new look of the same channel, Uptown Sports TV. Make sure you like, subscribe, reshare the pop-off. We're here. We're doing a little bit of a rebrand ourselves. So we had a cold open today. We are talking about all kinds of news and headlines. We're gonna break down a couple divisions in a minute, so stick with us and please comment in the comment section. Like, give us some more fodder to chew on and to talk about. I also want to say this very quickly. When I played in university, I did not gel with my coach as well. My coach at the time, he recruited heavily. They had just won our national championship up here in university, and so he got a whole bunch of recruits here. And what happened was, me and him didn't gel, but got my mojo going and just like disregarded anything he kind of said and did my own thing. I was starting to score touchdowns every week, and then all of a sudden he was my best friend. Very weird situation. However, the reason why I'm telling you this is because we did not jive. He didn't jive with a lot of people. Decades later, there was a reunion of sorts. We all got together, and he was invited. People hadn't seen him in forever. He ended up coaching in the East Coast of Canada. He came back, and he pretty much apologized to everybody that he didn't really vibe with. Yeah. And then he gave me a personal apology. Me and him are now, I wouldn't say thick as thieves, but every time he comes into town, we're definitely like, we're better people to each other than we were before. And it's just because we just didn't click. And the reason why I'm telling you that is because I feel like Tua going through this, yes, it was 3 years ago, which isn't a lot of time, to be honest with you, but going through that was very detrimental to his upbringing as not only a human, but as a player. And I think, Gene, I understand where you're coming from. Guys, I understand where you're coming from, but a little bit of pushback on that is that stays with you, right? And this is different than a chip on your shoulder. It's different than somebody, crack blocking you or whatever. It's different than that because this person was supposed to be a leader to him, and he feel like it didn't go well. I guess the leader, also the coach, didn't feel like it went well. And so it's just a different vibe. So should he man up? 100%. He should leave that in the past. However, it festers. I think now that he got it out of his system, he's going to walk away from it and he's good. But I feel like sometimes you just got to voice it, right? You got to say something about it. That's my own experience. That's my own opinion.
Forgot Nigel used to be a diva wide receiver.
What was that?
I forgot Nigel used to be a diva wide receiver.
I was 100%. I was definitely a diva wide receiver, and I loved it. I do it all again if I had to. And you know what? Speaking of other diva receivers, well, I mean, they got a couple. We're talking about the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta Falcons now, they seem to be on the comeuppance. They got a whole bunch of talent over there, but the question is, what is their ceiling? So Kirk Cousins is a QB, or is he? Because Penix Jr. has been playing real well. So, I mean, who knows? They got Bijan Robinson, who's really he's got to stake his claim because he did fine. I'm not going to crap on him. He did fine, but he definitely didn't get a chance to rise to the occasion like we all thought. Drake London, receiver, Darnell Mooney. So they got people there. Wudi, what is your take? Will the Falcons reach a ceiling, or what is their ceiling?
Well, the big thing for me is that, they just went on a defensive spree on that side of the ball, getting Judon, right? They already had Jesse Bates. Then they get Simmons. They lock down AJ Terrell. They're I don't want to say stacked, but they got talent
but you kind of want to.
Yeah, I mean they do. They have talent at every position. I don't know if it's absolute best in the league type, or Judon is older, Kirk is older. They got some older guys. Simmons, I believe, is closer to the end of his career than the start. But they also have the young dogs, like you said, Bijan, Dre. So they have a nice blend of talent. So Madden. Right, that's a Madden team to look out for. What is their ceiling? To me, I'm going to use an ugly word. They are going to rape and pillage the NFC South. They are going to destroy that division. 6-0. They go 6-0 against that division and winning the championship. I mean, winning the NFC South championship, and then I got them losing to whoever they face, because Kirk Cousins, when the light turns bright, I don't even have a cute rhyme for that. He just sucks. He sucks. So,
you can even say what light does to someone. Like he could have just burned out. He could burn in the flames. He could have burst in the flames. Nothing. No. Okay.
Oh, God. I don't know. It just everything escaped me. Everything escaped me at once. But yeah, I mean, he I have no faith in Kirk. And it goes back to Dak, right? Caleb, brought up the point. Like, Dak ain't it. Like, you're better off trying to find somebody else. Like, that is not Dak. So you can roll the dice and, yeah, maybe, it won't be that person either. But it's not Dak. I think Kirk, right? They literally were calling Dak the black Kirk Cousins. I think Kirk is the exact same thing. He just wears khakis. And, they have Penix, but I don't think they're going to bench Kirk for Penix this year. So this season, have fun, destroy that division, win a lot of people fantasy championships, and then lose automatically in the playoffs.
Okay, well said. Gene.
If they don't win the South, they should blow away the South, right? They got all those weapons on offense. A lot of people wanted to blame. No, we'll find out if it was Arthur Smith's issue last year as far as calling plays. Now it may be Nigel's problem. We'll see. But a lot of people blamed him for the way the offense played last year. I think the offense should be a lot better this year. Defense, Wudi nailed it. They've added so many big names on defense. I know Juden's a year older, but he didn't look like he was slowing down much to me last year. We saw him a bunch with the Patriots. Bringing in Simmons is a no-brainer. I know a lot of teams. I think he was a good need for a lot of teams. I don't know why he wasn't picked up sooner. And then locking up Terrell, $80 million contract. They're going to be tough this year. I'm not saying like you're going to see that jump that the Detroit Lions made a couple of years ago, but it could be that could be like the team that you say, oh, this is the team that's going to run the South for a little bit. We've looked at the South as being such a bad division for so many years now. And it's always like, all right, well, who's going to kind of win it just because somebody's got to win it? The Falcons have made the right moves to win it. They got a new coach, new system in place. They had the offensive weapons that now they could hopefully utilize better. Penix is going to be good. I still don't start Penix unless you need to. I go with Cousins unless Cousins all of a sudden shows that he can't win. And the defense is going to be a lot better. I really have a good feeling about Atlanta this year. I think I did last year too, but I was an idiot. This year they got everything. I feel like they got a lot of good pieces in place. Important pieces in place, right? They got the quarterback in place for now. They got the new coach. They already had a top-tier running back who can only get better. They have a receiver that hasn't really launched off yet, but this could be the year. They have a tight end also who hasn't really launched off yet, but we've been saying every year, this is the year, this is the year, this is the year. Hopefully, I think this is the year that you see Pitts take off. And on defense, they added a quality pass rusher. They already have a quality secondary. If they can't be dominant this year in that division, then maybe they won't ever be. This is the year I think that they could really take off.
Ooh, we got some positivity from Mr. Wudi. Got some positivity from Gene. Caleb, you are on deck. Atlanta Falcons, Dirty South. What happens?
They absolutely win it. It's a tragedy if they don't. Like, it's obvious that they win it. They really want to let the Bucks know that y'all don't have a shot because they're going to try to, because the Bucks got to the playoffs. They even beat my whack team last season the way we ended the season, right? So it's like that's what they got to do, smack them in the mouth. I think the Cousins thing, I agree. If Cousins just has a fantastic season and they just walking through and doing that, it will be hard to replace him, not replace him, but like bench him for Penix. But I think if they get into the playoffs and it's not going good, I think the coach would have no problem putting Penix in if Penix has shown that he can play. Like, because the coach can see stuff in practice. Like, you start hearing the people talk about, oh, he's getting first team reps, stuff like that. Once you start hearing that, because they paid, let me tell you what Arthur Blank did. Arthur Blank loved Michael Vick. And what he did with Penix is he sees flashes of Vick in Penix, and that's what he wants. He knows what city he's in. He's in Atlanta. His fan base is Black people, right? He wants to connect with them, with the city, like Michael Vick invigorated that city. Penix ain't no Vick, but he's Vick-ish, right? He paid Kirk Cousins $100 million to teach that kid how to play, to make sure that kid knows how to do it, because that is the future of Atlanta. He saw what happened with Aaron Rodgers as far as with Justin. Love,
Jordan
right? Jordan with Jordan Love. You know, he's seeing how that mentor who knows he's only there to mentor, right? Gets it. Cousins is gonna go out there and play. Cousins knows that's the last biggest contract he'll ever get. It's okay. It's fine. He ain't tripping. He wasn't ever supposed to be in that position any damn way. He got that from that one season in Washington, in that one game. How you like that? Or whatever the hell he said, changed his life. You know what I mean? So he wasn't even supposed to be where he is. So he's already overachieved. Minnesota overpaid him. Like, it was just crazy. So he teaches Penix, if he has a bad game or the playoffs ain't going right, I expect to see that switch. And definitely at next season, without question. Like, they ain't paying to have Penix sit for 2-3 seasons. Not happening. So that's what I think. But I agree with them. All sunshine and black and red skies for Atlanta, because they should walk with the NFC South title and host a playoff game without a doubt. And I'm telling you, that dome, to what Wudi was saying about Judon, yes, but that's outside in New England. He's in the dome in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? It's a different vibe. It's different. I think he might get his joints might get a year younger. You know what I'm saying? So that's all. But we shall see.
Yeah, when that squad starts winning, I mean, they like their fans go ballistic. Like, everything is just, the momentum just doesn't stop there. But it's a tough stop if they're not winning. It's a tough grind uphill. And you're right. I mean, in that division, the NFC South, there's no other competitors. That's
outside of the Bucks. We can't say the Bucks aren't competitors, because they are, right?
True.
But Atlanta should beat them, is what I'm saying.
True. Yeah, absolutely. Listen, there's been some news that comes from, well, Bo Nix. Bo Nix in Denver from the Mile High. Bo Nix has just been called the #1 QB. And to that, he replied with this, and I quote, "Thank you. I appreciate it. It was really cool. It's not every day you get that news. Obviously, as a room, we've been working hard, putting a lot of good things on film and putting a lot of good things on the practice field. To get that news is definitely a great thing. So I'm super excited and ready to go back to work again. Go back to it and start again." That might have been the blended. I think hockey players are more livelier and have more interesting things to say in an interview. But Bo Nix, congratulations to you, my friend. QB1 of Denver. Is this change things for Denver? Is Denver looking up? Do you think they're going to surprise us, Wudi?
You know, I was actually thinking that Denver was going to be the worst team in football, like that, first pick of last year. I mean, first pick of next year, not last year, of next year. But then I started thinking about this question. It's possible because, and we're definitely. I was out here with the fingers last night on the phone. I know we're going to talk about it later today, but to be a coach of a football team and your quarterback is one of the league leaders in touchdowns with a low interception. So one of the highest was actually #1 for a long time for touchdown interception ratio, and that's not good enough for you. That must mean that you just need a piece of clay that you can mold. You can't mold 35-year-old quarterbacks. You can't. They've been in the league. They're hardened veterans. You try to say certain things and I won a Super Bowl more recently than you. What are you talking about? But you bring in a rookie, you bring in this kid, and you can tell him anything, and yes, sir. Okay, yes, sir. I'm gonna do it. He's okay, yes, sir. And Bo Nix has looked fantastic in preseason. There is a chance that yes, maybe he has his next Drew Brees, which I know is extremely high praise. But if you recall, Drew wasn't looking like Drew until he met Sean. He took a broken piece and said, "Hey, boom, boom, boom." Now he's in the Hall of Fame. Maybe that's what Sean needs is clay, right? He did not have clay last year. He had an old dog, right? Just, hardened. He can't mold this. He tried to, something broke off. So now that he has this, it's possible. And that division is pretty weak. I mean, the Chargers, I love Harbaugh. I love their future. But this season, the four of us would beat their wide receiver core in any physical competition. I'm throwing down the gauntlet. If they think I'm lying, let's go. Their top four receivers to the four of us. I don't know if the Chargers are ready this season. And then the Raiders, I love Minshew. They don't have it. They don't have the roster. So it's possible that Denver just out the blue can become a decent team, but they're still probably going to finish last in the
NFL. Caleb, does Bo Nix of Oregon Duck fame, he lead Denver and the fans to the promised land, or maybe just the playoffs?
The playoffs are interesting. I think, first of all, what Wudi was saying is, you get this kid that you can mold. Last time I checked, Bo Nix was 33. You know what I mean? Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? He's 33-year-old rookie. You ever see what movie was that? Necessary Roughness, when they got the quarterback, he old as That's what it's like. Now I'm just teasing. He's not that old for anybody who thinks no. I know that, but he was way older in college. I think he was like the 6th year or 7th year. Like
he's 24 right now.
Right. It's like, come on, man. You know what I mean? So what I mean is he should be starting. Okay, first of all, you already missed 3 years that you should have been in the league, that you was trying to light up the college world to get your your stock higher. So he should be starting. I don't know if he has all of the weapons to do what's necessary. That could be a positive thing or a negative. Positive in the sense that if nobody's expecting you to do something, that means other teams may overlook you because they're like, oh, their receivers, their people is right. So they're not paying attention, and it allows you to win games that you probably shouldn't because you caught them off guard, right? That sort of thing. I don't know. I feel like Denver, I was more on the line with Wudi. I didn't think they was going to do nothing, but I hope just for the team, just so it don't look so bad as far as this whole Wilson debacle, like that they do okay. You go 8-8, 8-9, because I think it's 17 games now. Yeah, cool.
That'd be huge. That'd be huge.
Yeah,
for them.
like something like that. If you start going 6-11, 5-12. That's a tragedy. Then it's gonna be then there'll be a whole lot of things, and people will be really looking at Knicks. And I just hope I hope he doesn't end up being a bust. You know what I mean? Like, because that sucks. My boy Zach Wilson is dying. You know what I mean? Like, he needs a reality show. He should, he got a pretty girlfriend. Like, start doing that. Just start banking on being handsome and white. Blonde hair. Get the privilege going. You know what I mean? Like if you got a personality, go the Baker Mayfield route. Start doing commercials. You gotta do something.
Dancing with the Stars. Do whatever.
Listen. Start banking on all of that because the NFL is probably done for him unless everybody goes down and they need old Zach in there.
No, Zach.
And they're running and gunning, So who knows? But in all seriousness, I don't expect much from Denver.
Gene,
not
what
this
are you
season.
thinking?
Yeah, I mean, even if he's going to be a good quarterback in this league, which I think he's going to be, he's actually the quarterback I like most coming into the draft. I know a lot of people thought I was crazy for it. I liked him the best. I think there's a lot of upside with Bo Nix. I think he's going to be. I think he's going to be a really good quarterback. Yeah, poor Zach Wilson, right? He should just join a boy band and go.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. He's
boy band. Do porn. Get an OnlyFans. Do something.
His mom should get an OnlyFans. She's cute.
Yeah. Oh.
Just saying. But yeah. I mean, Yeah, listen. Again, back. I'm just sidetracked by. Let me tell you something. For any NFL player, his mom is spectacular. That's all.
No, you're right. You're right. For everyone goes. You're right. There's no cure for that.
Yeah. So, but yeah. Listen, so get back to Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos. I really don't know what to expect because I do think he'll be good over the long haul. Will he be good instantly this year? As you guys said, he's a little bit older, so that maybe he should be. He doesn't have the time really to not be good sooner. But listen, KC is going to be KC still. I do think I know they're not playing with a stacked wide receiver unit, but I do love LA just with the coach there, the quarterback there. There's a lot of things to like with LA. Vegas. The only thing they got is really Max Crosby and Devontae Adams, and Max Crosby can't throw the ball, and Devontae Adams has no one to throw it to him. So I don't know really what to expect in Vegas. I think their head coach can will them to a few wins because I do like him as a head coach.
Yeah, me too.
So Denver might come in second just based on how things shake out. I do think Denver will catch people off guard. I don't think they're going to be. I think they're going to be their main thing is catching people off guard. Kind of like what Caleeb said. I think that's their best attribute this year is maybe catching people before they're ready for them. Again, I think Bo Nix will be good. I just as a rookie, let's not put too much pressure on this kid. They got it's going to take some time to build them into a playoff contender. They're not there yet. My guess for them is probably about 6-11, but I think they play decent at times, but I don't see them doing much this year.
Yeah, I think they're going to start off hot, and then when I say hot, it'll be fine. It'll be mediocre, and then it's just going to be a pity party after that. Like I think it's just gonna, because the excitement will be there, and a lot of teams when they're coming off of a rough season or whatever, there's a lot of optimism for that season to start, and then sometimes it's just a flop real quick. They'll have a couple big games and they'll be in it, and then they'll just
that's exactly what I think is going to happen. I think they'll have some teams that might be an offensive juggernaut. They'll hold down to like 15 points. Everyone say, "Oh, you look how good if they could just get things together on offense." And then they'll have some team that is good on defense that they'll put up 30 points but lose by 5. And people say, "Oh, if they could just," it's going to be one of those seasons where I think they'll be competitive and stay in games. I just don't think they'll finish games.
Yeah, fair enough. Hey, you know what? On the back half of this pod, what we're going to do right now is we're going to stay talking NFL, but we're going to break them down into divisions. We're going to talk about two divisions today, I believe?
Two, right?
Two? Fantastic. Talk about two divisions today. It is happening, so let's just jump right into it. We dabbled a bit, but let's talk about the AFC. Now we're going to give you the AFC East preview. We're going to rank the quarterbacks, then we'll rank the defenses, and then we will rank the coaches, and then we will give you an overall prediction of the season standing and how that's going to work out. Let's go through these pretty quickly and see how it goes. So, Gene, let's start with you again, and let's talk about the AFC East. Let's rank your quarterbacks, man. 4 through 1 or 1 through 4, however you want to go.
Let's go.
Do we need to go somewhere else? I was about to say.
No. I'm just dividing if I want to go 1 through 4 or 4 through 1. Let's go 4 to 1.
Yeah, go ahead.
Obviously, I think the first one's going to be Drake May, rookie coming into the league. Horrible team around him. New coach, which I think he could be a good coach. I like Gerard Mayo as a coach. We'll see what he can do as a head coach. But you heard a lot of good stories from him as far as being an assistant and a defensive coach. Have the players relate to him and stuff. Then it gets tricky because I feel like you can really kind of put these guys in any kind of order because I think they're all decent. I think one guy is really I think a couple of guys are really overrated. I'm gonna go Tua at that point. He might be able to throw the ball way over those mountains, but he's still gotta prove it when it counts. Everyone wants to hit Dak where it hurts. I think Tua is the same kind of quarterback. You know what I mean? I think Tua is that same kind of quarterback. And then after that, I feel like people are going to say I'm a homer, but I'm going to go with Josh Allen second. I'm going to go with Josh Allen second. And I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers first.
For those of you that are just listening, that are just getting the audio and you're not watching the video, I just want to make sure that we have Caleb's eye roll and Wudi's like shit-eating grin when Gene just said his pick. Continue.
Wait, let me explain this. Who's Josh Allen going to throw the ball to this year? Keon Coleman?
Yeah. What are you talking about?
I think statistically, I think you're going to see a better season from Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, Tua had the best season statistically. He led the league in passing yards last year, and he's third on your list. So it's not.
I'm just building it up however I want to build my list. That's my opinion. You see, the problem that happens is Wudi throws facts at you, and then you got to just say, well, why are you doing that? But stop that. But no, listen. I think Josh Allen is better. I'm not going purely on stats, but I think Josh Allen is better than Tua, obviously, and I think Josh Allen will be better or is better than Aaron Rodgers. I think just this year, Aaron Rodgers will be better than Josh Allen. I think overall, yeah, Josh Allen's a better quarterback. If I want somebody for the next 10 years, who do I want? Josh Allen or Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron's going to play 2 years.
Which is why I want Josh Allen. That's why I want Josh Allen.
Okay.
I think this year, Aaron Rodgers outplays Josh Allen. This year.
Okay.
All right. Great. Wudi.
My number 4, I wrote down Jacoby Brissett. I don't know if Drake May is starting. I don't know which one of them is starting, but whoever is starting in Patriots is last. All right, I think that should be a sweep. I hope that's a sweep. 3, give me Tua. Yeah, I mean he is good, not great. If Dak is black Kirk Cousins and Tua is Samoan Kirk Cousins, you know what I'm saying? Like, that is what it is. Give me Aaron Rodgers. Here's the thing. I actually almost put Rodgers third, but I have to have faith that he can throw, but like I don't think he can move, which is a really big issue. All right, quarterbacks today, they need to be able to move. They need to be able to roll out right, roll out left. And Rodgers, obviously, in his career, has done this at arguably the highest ability ever, right, to throw the football on the move. But the one time he tried to do it last year, he tore his Achilles. So
he was also being brought down to the ground because the offensive line was putrid.
I mean, do you think that he's not going to get tackled at all this year?
No, but he's going to get. There was going to come a point where he was going to get hit, and not be able to get away. Just had to come on the first snap of the season.
All right. Well, we'll see. I mean, how many snaps until something else snaps? That's what I don't know.
So you don't want you don't want Aaron Rodgers as a Jet quarterback? Is that what you're telling me? Because he can't move.
I mean it's fine. It's fine. It's cool. It's cool. But I'm not saying like, oh, it's a guarantee because there is no guarantee. The man played 4 plays. How are you saying, oh, now he's going to be healthy for 17 weeks? That
I don't know that either. I'm just looking. I'm going to the season, looking into it, saying, okay, barring injury. Listen, Josh Allen can get hurt.
I'm barring right now.
Josh Allen can get hurt on the 4th play of the season for the Bills. And that would move him back to 4th, but none of us are going to put Josh Allen 4th.
Yeah,
you never know. We haven't heard from Caleeb yet.
What I'm saying is, Rodgers. I did put him above Tua. Like I was nervous, but I said, if their feet were stuck in quicksand, I am trusting Rodgers to make throws, but more than Tua. So that is why I put Rodgers ahead. But I am nervous. I did consider it because I think Tua, who's not very mobile, is more mobile. He can evade contact, which is kind of crazy to say with all the concussions, but better than Aaron Rodgers, who, 0 for 1 last year trying to evade contact. Josh Allen is number 1 by far. He is the second best quarterback in the NFL. It is shameful that
He's not the sick-ass quarterback.
you would do that, but you're a homer, so I understand it. If Tyrod was the QB, you would be making some sort of argument like, well, Tyrod, he didn't get a chance, and you would have put him above Josh Allen. But we all know that Josh is him, okay, and it's not even close. He's the number one QB in this division.
Josh Allen is not. Wait, you say he's the number one QB in the league?
In the division.
Oh, I think he's the league. He's not even number 2 in the league.
He's number 2 in the league. In my opinion.
Burrow's better.
No,
Okay.
he's not.
Oh, yeah, there we go. We got Caleeb chiming in. Caleeb, what do you got? 4 through 1, 1 through 4, however you want to do it.
I think it goes Josh Allen, and then everybody else, right? And it will go from Josh Allen, it will go Tua, 3 will be Aaron, 4 will be whoever starts for the Patriots, whether it's Drake May or Jacoby Brissett. Why I put Aaron Rodgers 3rd is because legacy, he could be one of the greatest to ever do it. Like, I'm not talking about legacy. I'm talking about right now, right? And he's not playing in the Wrangler jeans commercial with Brett Favre, where everybody can throw a damn ball and everybody catching it. This is the NFL. He's coming off an Achilles. He's my age. No, you're not better than a kid who's 20-something who's running. Now, I know Tua has had a broken hip and all that, but that was in college. He's proven he's healed and is moving. And I think Tua is better than Aaron Rodgers is at this phase in their career. It's like when Muhammad Ali fought Larry Holmes. Of course, Muhammad Ali is better, but not right now. You know what I mean? Larry Holmes is about to whoop your ass. You too old. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think. I don't think Aaron is on. He's too old to be at their level. And to Wudi's point, he can't move. And I don't think the Jets have improved their offensive line too much. So it's not like it's shored up. And it's like they made some improvements, but it ain't, oh, we got a wall here. Nah, their line ain't better than the Eagles. It ain't better than Dallas. It ain't better. You know what I mean? Yes, that's true.
But you're naming 2 of the top, what, 5?
It is true for everyone goes. They do have it's much better in years. But see, okay, so how much better is shit if you put syrup on it? Is it pancakes?
It'll be sweeter.
Oh, God.
Right? But it's still the same thing, right?
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is you can put as much syrup on shit as you want. It ain't gonna make it pancakes. So of course it's better, but it's still the same thing. So we gonna see. But I'll take the offensive line because I don't want to put that on them. Let them boys have a year. They could come out and prove they the hogs from the old Washington old team. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna leave that alone. But for him to move in the pocket, to just have us less of a step, even the confidence to pivot and press and throw, right? Like, I think that's going to be something. These other guys don't have that. And now Josh Allen. I think he's absolutely the second best quarterback in the league. I think he's behind GOAT Mahomes. And the reason why I put him over Burrow and Lamar Jackson is because Lamar is elite, not just because of his arm, but because he can run. We can't take that's part of his game. That changes something. That's the only reason why he's in their league. Without being able to run, Lamar would not be in the same category as those 3, even in the same conversation. I'm sorry to say that. I know it's another black man, and I am not hating. I love Lamar Jackson, but I understand how important the threat of the run is to his game. It's just part of it. It's like an athlete. Vince Carter out the dunks ain't a legend. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you gonna do? It's his athleticism is what made him that. You can't take it away, and you can't act like it's not part of it, right? So that's why Lamar's there. But when it comes to being a quarterback and throwing that football and placing it and knowing how, those 3 are the best. And I think Patrick is on a better on a higher level than those 2 simply because of the decisions he makes in crunch time. And for whatever reason, God must be light-skinned or wear a Chiefs jersey because the shit just works for him. He's able to shovel past and the linebacker just misses, right? Versus Burrow or Allen, it gets knocked down or worse, picked. Or worse, the receiver drops it. Did you see the game? Josh Allen was putting the ball. Man, he couldn't throw better passes. It was a boom, blung, blung. You know what I mean? So it's like, come on now, right? So I think I would take Josh Allen any day of the week and would not be upset. I would, if I had Josh Allen in Dallas, I'd be terrified. First of all, he would already been paid. Jerry would be like, oh, of course. We're not even talking. We're not even having this conversation. CeeDee would be paid. Everybody be rolling. I bet you CeeDee's mom don't tweet out, Josh ain't it. I bet you she don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, so that's what I think it is, you know. But again, to the question, I think it's that Aaron is 3 because I think he has to not prove himself, but prove himself for this year that he can actually still at least have half of the game that he's had in the past. I think with half of the game, the Jets will be a problem in the AFC East. Playoffs, I ain't even going to go there. You know what I mean? I feel like Jim Moore. Playoffs? Yeah.
One of the greatest fights of all time. And I think that God is light-skinned. Okay, let's move on. We're running out of time. So let's hit this real quick. Let's talk about defenses and coaches. Let's rank these defenses. Very minimal justification, 4 through 1 in the AFC East. Caleeb, let's go reverse. Let's start with you. Rank the defenses 4 through 1.
Ooh.
Or 1 through 4. However we want to do.
Okay, I think honestly, defense, you got to go with the Jets. I mean, without question. I mean, they got sauce. Yeah. They got a dude who wears the diamond encrusted hot sauce bottle around his neck. I mean, how could he not be the best? How could he not be the best? You don't do that. You don't spend 30 grand on a chain with a bottle of hot sauce on. It's the most ignorant stuff. I swear to God. My people, I love y'all. But anyway, his skill through the roof. They're gonna give Hassan his money. The Jets are nasty. So number 1 defense. Here's where it starts to get interesting. It's between Miami and New England for the second spot, right? Because I think Miami's secondary is better, I'm going to put them above the Patriots, but it's a tight one. Because the Patriots, the only reason why they've even done anything in these past couple seasons is because they've had an underrated defense. They have. Their defense is good. And losing Judon is going to hurt them because he was an integral part of that defense, right? It's not just ability, it's leadership. Being able to call out plays and say things and other people react to it, right? That's coaching on the field, right? So losing that is going to hurt them. I think talent-wise, the Dolphins have the second best defense, and it's because their secondary, to me, is better than the Patriots, right? So that in a passing league, I think that sets them apart and puts them as number 2. Third is the Patriots. And the Bills, I got to give them 4 because they've lost so many people on defense. They lost all their all-star corners. They lost their safeties. You know what I mean? They still, I think they still got Von Miller, but he's a shell of his former self. They lost the middle linebacker. What's his name? The Italian boy. Yeah, again. I swear, man, he is snake bit. I don't know what he did. He must have cheated on his test when he was a kid or something because it is like it's like always happens. So losing him, major blow for them. So their defense is number 4 to me, which will now impact the rankings because Josh Allen's going to have to score 45 points a game with no receivers.
Yeah.
Because he lost the majority of them too. Now he's got new ones, and I like the crazy boy. I forgot the boy that be talking crazy and all the interviews.
Keon Coleman.
He's got a great personality. He can get a reality show. We're gonna see if he could do something on the field though. But so that's how I would rank the rankings for the AFC East.
Nice.
As far as defense.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not even gonna be suspenseful. I have the same exact order. I have Bills coming in last with all the weapons that they lost on defense and the ones that they still have aging. I think that defense is gonna be. It's gonna. I don't get why everybody always just put Buffalo at the top of the list. They're gonna have a hard time on defense. They lost their receivers. They lost the 2 receivers, the top 2 receivers they had. Their quarterback isn't that great. Not playing. But no, yeah. Listen. That defense is going to have a tough time this year. It really is, and that's a shame because you play in a cold weather city. You should have a good defense. That's part of that's part of it. And then I same reason I go with the Patriots third. I think Gerard Mayo, who is a defensive guy, will get them whipped into shape. I think their defense has been sneaky good the last couple of years. They don't get the credit they should. And then second, I go with the Miami Dolphins. Again, secondary is nice. They got some pass rushing there. But head and shoulders, and this isn't me being a homer. I know people are going to say it. Head and shoulders. Hey, TC Steels. Head and shoulders. It is the Jets. The Jets might end up having like a top 3 defense in the league this year. Maybe even end up finishing the top defense in the league this year. Everywhere you look, they got a game breaker. That secondary is going to be so tough. They got the 3 top. That's maybe the best 3 pairing of corners in the league with the 2 corners and the slot corner nickelback. I think their safeties will be better this year. If they can get Hassan Reddick on the field, I don't even think he's going to be one of those guys that's going to miss a few games if they get him in just in time. He's been playing long enough. He'll be fine in that system. He could probably even play week 1, maybe just on a reduced snaps. But once he's there, I think dollar to donuts, he's better than Huff. So I don't think we even drop off the fact that we lost Huff. I think Hassan Reddick is better than Huff. I think you're going to see even more guys kind of step up a little bit on the rest of that. Jermaine Johnson, I think, takes another step up. I think Will McDonald takes a step up. I think this is going to be a really scary defense, especially if they can get Hassan Reddick on the field.
Solid breakdown. Wudi.
I definitely have the same list. Bills lost a lot of people. If the Pats still had Judon, they would be second on my list, but they lost him. And the Dolphins have gotten a lot of guys, sneaky, linebackers and edge rushers to kind of, bolster out their defense. So, that's how it is 2-3. The Jets, I am so sorry to break anybody's heart. But without Hassan Reddick, there's a 0% chance that the Jets are the best defense in the league. They need that front four. They lost Bryce Huff. That was a big loss. Hassan Reddick is way better than him. So if Hassan is there, then it don't matter. But Hassan's not there, and I don't think they're going to pay him. They don't want to pay him. They had that draft class where they need to pay all those guys. They need to pay Sauce, right? We talking about Garrett, Brees, Jermaine Johnson, all those guys. They were drafted. So all of those guys, that loss, I think, was huge with Huff. Not having somebody to replace Huff if Reddick doesn't show up. Will McDonald, that's not.
You don't think he takes a step up this year?
He could, but that's not the level. I agree. A game changer. So I think they'll be top 10 without Reddick. And that's way better than the other defenses will be. With Reddick, though, they could be number 2.
Wait, let me ask you a question. It's a little bit of a sidebar. Is that okay, Nigel? If I ask a sidebar?
Yeah.
No, because you're mentioning guys that they need to pay, and I agree. They need to pay. Like, listen, these receivers are getting paid crazy, and if Garrett Wilson puts up the year we think he's going to have this year with the healthy Rodgers, that you're going to he's going to be the next guy. Do you think they're really going to pay Brees? Because I really feel like they brought some of these other guys in as an insurance policy to be able to, if Brees is the guy that's going to take up too much money, or if the other guys take up too much money, okay, we'll have to let Brees walk out the door because we got Braylon Allen, who looks like a beast. I'm not saying he's going to be Brees because I love Brees, but do you think that he might be the last guy they pay in that group? I'm just curious. I'm not saying you're right or wrong. I'm just curious on your opinion.
Yeah, solely because he's a running back. That's what that's. Running backs get treated like garbage.
And they stocked up on that position.
But Brees literally could be Christian McCaffrey. He could be the black Christian McCaffrey, who is happily getting paid as the league's highest running back. He actually makes money that other positions, make right. His salary is somewhat comparable to some of the other positions. So I do think Brees will be that level. So I do think he will earn that type of extension. My pick for the last person of that group to get paid is actually Jermaine, because I think you can get edge rushers on the cheap, like even like a Jadeveon Clowney, right? Got paid like $9 million. Jermaine Johnson in his second deal, he's trying to break the bank. So I think that is one where you could probably
I think Jermaine Johnson's going to get overpaid somewhere. I agree. I don't think he'll be your second contract. I think someone's going to overpay him.
Yes.
Somewhere else. And I do like Brees. I'm just worried that they're going to let Brees go because of the fact that they stocked up. I felt like they really stocked up this past offseason.
I just bought a Brees jersey and I was so nervous the whole time.
Let me tell you something. I think Brees is going to be the best back in the league this year. I think he takes that jump. I think he's going to be a nightmare for defenses this year.
Well, that means if there's defense, there's got to be somebody calling the shots. So let's talk about the coaches of the AFC East. Talk about the coaches. So let's rank them. Wudi, let's start with you. Let's rank the coaches 1 to 4.
Mayo last. He hasn't coached yet. So, gonna do that. Number 3. I'm so sorry, Gene. If you need a tissue, I actually don't have any. You can use your shirt.
Robert Saleh. I kind of share a brain with you.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, Saleh. Yo, even in preseason, the way he was bungling timeouts. I mean, he's not. Trust me, he's great defense. He built the defense. He deserves credit. He deserves more credit than given for what the defense has become. But just as the head coach, there's still a lot to be desired. Number 2, give me Mike McDaniel. He has done tremendous. What Tua had said, Tua thought he was broken, and McDaniel was the knight in shining armor, told him he can be fixed. What he's done with that team. But that team has a really good roster. I think the Bills have consistently been decimated by injury and consistently win this division. That shows me that Sean McDermott is the best coach in this division. No matter who gets hurt, Tre'Davious White been hurt 4 years in a row. Matt Milano, tearing biceps, tearing this, tearing that. And yet they still always come out with a division crown, I believe 4 or 5 years in a row. Give me Sean McDermott as the best coach in this division.
James, Wudi, did you see Caleeb's text?
I did not.
He said he needs to be let back in.
Oh, my bad.
Okay. No, it's all good.
Okay, sorry. I just want to get that message out.
I had a phone because the phone rang. So when the phone rings for whatever reason, because Apple, how it hooks everything up, it cuts this. And then when I came back in, it was like, you're here, but you got to be let back in. I was like, oh, come on. It's ridiculous. Like, if you got the link, what you need to be let in is to just let you in. That's what it's for.
Facts.
But anyway, that's how it is.
So Wudi, you're good. So you've named your 4, Gene?
Yes. Mayo, Saleh, McDaniel, McDermott at the top.
Great. Talking about the coaches.
Wow.
I agree with wow. Now, here's the thing. You're going to say, you know me, I'm quick to always kind of put the rookie coaches at the bottom, right? I don't believe in Saleh. I believe in the Jets. I feel like they'll win in spite of him. I don't believe in Saleh, which is a shame because I really like him as a guy. He's the guy I wanted when he was available to sign a new coach. I really like him. He seems like a great guy, a great person, a great coach. Unfortunately, I feel like what we always do is we pick the top coordinator on the market, and we always get the guy that really is a fantastic coordinator, but not a good coach. This guy is a fantastic coordinator, just not a good coach, head coach. Fantastic coach, fantastic defensive coach. He's just not a head coach. I'm going to actually put him at the bottom of the list. He's going to be my number 4. I'm going to say Gerard Mayo, and I know you're going to say, well, you always put the guys that are new at the bottom, and because you don't know what they've done. There's something about Gerard Mayo that I just see and I like, that I feel like he could maybe be, not that they're going to go on a winning streak like they did in Houston last year, but I feel like he could be the next D'Amico Ryans in the sense of he's going to win some games you don't expect him to win. He's going to have the pulse of his team really, really well. I think the team's going to love playing around him. I think they're playing for him. I think they're going to rally around him. There's something about him I just see, and I'm like, I dread it because he's in my division. I'm going to hate this guy in a couple of years. I really feel like as much as I like him now, I'm going to hate him soon. Then after that, I go McDermott. And the only reason why McDermott's not further down my list is because he's got the other two guys to kind of break his fall. I think McDermott's a very overrated coach. I think it's time for him to leave Buffalo. I think this is his last year in Buffalo. I'll be honest. I think this is his last year in Buffalo. I think that he won some games in spite of his roster. And I think it's going to be the end of his run there. McDaniel, he's one of the best offensive minds in the league. I'm not saying he's the best because you still got the guy in San Francisco. You still got the other guy in LA. You got the other guy in LA. We'll see what he does. I think he's a tremendous offensive brain, and whether you like him or not personally, I think he's a little bit of a clown. When you see him on the open mic or on the hot mic and stuff, he sounds like a little bit of a clown. And he doesn't really look the part of a head coach, right? Like he just looks like, I don't know, he just looks like a geek. But I think he's the best coach in the division.
Okay, well said. Well, Caleeb, what are we thinking? What are we thinking for coaches in the AFC East?
It's going to be interesting because it's all based off of what I think happens this season with the teams. I haven't seen Mayo, so I have to put him in the bottom just by default with no disrespect to him. I hope I can make him number one, right? But so he has to be there. I would put McDermott third. Here's why. Yeah. Because he's had a stacked team and hasn't done anything with them. Mm-hmm. He's had the second best quarterback in the NFL, in my opinion, for 3 seasons at minimum in a row, like where Josh is that guy. And he's lost every time, right? You got to carry that weight too. It's not just Allen's fault. You're calling them plays. You're putting those people in position to call those other plays, right? So I'd have to put that. He has to take some blame for that. So that's what drops him there. Saleh, I think, hasn't really had a fair share. I mean, last year, come on. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like, I'm like, that's horrific. I agree with Eugene. I think he seems like a really nice guy. He seems to be cool. I think he's a better coach than what is. He had Zach Wilson, and look what he was able to do. Damn. Like, come on. So I put him as number 2. And of course I put McDaniels number 1. I think he is the best offensive mind in the NFL, more so than Shanahan. Here's why. Because he's more creative. He's like a new kid that's doing it, right? It's like you got Shanahan is a master. He's great, right? But it's like Dr. Dre and Kanye West as producers, right? Like Dr. Dre's classic master, but Kanye come with stuff you like, damn, how did you mix this with that and get like, damn, right? It's like that with McDaniels. The way he moves people around that field, how he uses motion, how he's able, pitches, it's insane the way that he freezes defenses with the ingenuity. He seems like he has fun with it. Like he's the type to call Tua at 2 a.m. I got a crazy idea, right? So imagine this. Tyreek is the center. Let me finish, right?
I feel like that's exactly what he talks to.
You know what I mean? Like he seems to be like that. So that's why I got to give him that. Harbaugh, we haven't seen him in the NFL now, right? He was in Frisco before. He was a great offensive mind. I don't know if he's as loose and as free as that guy is, right? Like there's something that McDaniels has that nobody else does, and I think it's youth ingenuity. Isn't he like the youngest coach in the league? If not, he's bottom 3, right? Like he's definitely, I'm older than him by like 9 or 10 years, I think. I'm 44. I think he's like 33, 34, maybe 35. Like that's, you know what I mean? So he's, I just think there's something special with the way that he sees the game And I think the rules have absolutely helped him. The fact that you can't hit your players like you used to and all that allows for all this. And I would say, as an old dude would say, gimmicky, but it's just ingenuity. It's like the new thing and taking chances that I think older coaches aren't making, which is why his offense seems revolutionary. Like, so Wudi's been mentioning Madden a lot. I haven't mentioned it because I hate the new gameplay style of 2025. It's trash to me. They're gonna have to make some bugs. But anyway, I still play it. But one of the best offensive playbooks in the game is the Miami Dolphins. And it's virtually unstoppable when you're them because their players are so fast, right? And it's just all the motions and this and that and the picks and the running. It's like it's almost like you're cheating. It's like it's not fair. They gotta patch it. It's broken. You gotta patch there because it's not you can't stop it, right? So that's all him. You know what I mean? So I think it's a he's by far not by. Shanahan is right behind him, but he is the number one offensive mind in the NFL right now. That's what
we got some good picks, great debates on the AFC East. The AFC East. I think we were a little ambitious, but we wanted to run through today. There's no way that we're going to get through the AFC North. There's a lot to talk about with that, so we're going to have to move that on, and we're going to have to do it quickly because you know what? The season again is right around the corner. Next week, I got I think I have one fantasy draft. And then the week after, I have like two. So it's happening. It is happening. It's coming at you fast. Unfortunately, we're going to have to bid everybody adieu. It has been a good time. We don't want to make it a long time, but we'll see you next week right here. Same time, same channel. This is Uptown Sports TV. Man, we had a blast. Any weekend words from you Warriors? James Wudi?
Yeah, well, I guess I gotta get ready for this wedding.
That too.
I will say I was excited to say the division standings. I'll just say real quick because I think Gene will get a kick out of it. I did have the Pats last. I had the Bills third. Dolphins second. I had the Jets first, man.
I agree. I got the same thing.
So I'm out here repping. I mean, that's just what I think, though, because I'm not a homer. So that's just I think the Jets. I think it's their time. So that's what I'm going to tell everybody at this wedding. They're going to be like, "Yo, congrats!" I'm gonna be like, "Yo, I think if Aaron Rodgers can stay healthy, that's what I'm be saying just over and over at this wedding."
Amazing, Caleb.
Stay classy, San Diego.
Oh, that's a good one, Gene.
A couple things, guys. Thanks you for being here. I don't know if we're on Twitter or X again yet. I know we were talking. We actually might be able to get it on. We're going to be on Instagram as well in the near future. We'll be on audio platforms as well. I don't think it's started yet. It's going to probably start in the next couple of weeks. We will have an intro video. So stay. This is just us coming up, working out the bugs and the kinks the first couple of weeks, but we should be up full and running on all the platforms in the next few weeks. You know what? Great question, Johnny boy. I hate the new bloodline. I love the old bloodline a lot better. I'm hoping the old bloodline comes back and stops the new one. I'm sure Wudi would agree. And also, I would congratulate Caleeb. I don't know what it finished with, but Cobra Kai within the first 4 days had like 15 million views. Or whatever, hit households. So I want to say congratulations on a really good part one of the final season of Cobra Kai. Congratulations to you and the team on that. You guys did a tremendous job. But that Tori at the end, I don't want to give anything away.
Don't give it away.
Just saying, she's so pretty, and then she does something like that.
Don't give it away.
Anyway. So I just want to say congratulations to Caleeb. And other than that, guys, it's good to see you guys again. It's good to be back. And Sierra, I don't know if you're still here, but Sierra, till next week when we battle out something again. I'm sure it'll be about the 49ers. We'll see.
We did the thing. We're going to do the thing all over again. Thank you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that share. We will be back, Uptown Sports, but we are known as the Pop-Off. See you next weekend. I got to hurry up and buy a hat. Peace.